Hi, my name is Michelle Gill, and I'm the Senior Engineering Manager of the Managed Stage. And today I want to talk about the impacts of far-reaching work, which we'll be defining in this presentation. And I hope to help you understand how to identify what work will be far-reaching, as well as how to mitigate that and why this matters. So at GitLab, we have many product groups and teams that are working in specific areas of the application. But on a higher level, this is all work happening on the same product, and that can sometimes mean that our work is impacting other areas without us realizing it. This becomes more of a problem as our user base continues to grow and our teams scale up because those impacts become much larger. So this is more visible in an area like Manage, where many of our groups interact with other groups or areas of the product, but the same problem exists for almost every group at GitLab today. A few examples of what I'm referring to include this incident in July. This was a much needed performance improvement to allow us to query for multiple groups at the same time, but unfortunately that resulted in cascading tuple fetches on a single table. So this change accounted for 50% of all tuple fetches against the primary database. Another example, in September, a very small change to add a user validation prevented many users from being able to access GitLab.com or log in at all. In both of these cases, these were very small changes. They were reviewed multiple times, but they did still have a far-reaching impact because they touch so many other areas of the application. So what do we mean by far-reaching? This could be any of the following things. It's utilized by a high percentage of users. The impact could be to an entire service like the database or Redis. It touches multiple areas of the application like a group query, potentially having legal, security, or compliance consequences, or potentially impact our revenue. These are all signs that the change you're working on might have these unintended side effects. We do understand that it's hard to know that these incidents will occur in advance, but we can still be proactive in making sure that we're putting quality and reliability first. The first thing we can always do when evaluating these changes is to create a rollout plan. That plan should include feature flags that are off by default so that we can increment turning them on, as well as metrics to monitor so we can be sure we're having a successful result. And always be sure to account for different states of data. The second thing we can do is to consider additional processes for your group, feature, or just the change that you're introducing. So we already have today many recommended processes at GitLab that you can require for these cases, like having a domain expert review your change first, or manually testing your work before it gets merged, and always collaborate with your peers and counterparts just to make the best decisions for your case. Finally, we want to make sure everyone can still contribute. So document these solutions in the handbook so that others are aware of these far-reaching areas and any specific processes that should be considered. When you do this, be as specific as possible about your far-reaching areas if you can. So maybe specific groups have far-reaching impacts as a whole, but maybe it's really just features that should be documented because those are the most impactful. So use your best judgment here and follow the handbook page to add these things to the table.